If you're only using a one round liner and you're a permanent makeup artist, you just may be hurting your healed results. This is something you probably never maybe have thought about. Hi guys, I'm Denise, owner of Radiant Ink Beauty Studios, coming here live from my office. I decided to change it up a little bit and record in my office. So I wanted to talk about this subject because when I started permanent makeup about 7 years ago, believe it or not, there was not all of this help. There wasn't these YouTube videos. There was not a plethora. There wasn't a lot of places to go online. Online classes were like not even a thing, which is really crazy to think about. Now you can find every single technique online, and it's just so much better and crazy. So anyway, so when I started out, a lot of my training and a lot of my trainers, we don't know what we don't know, right? So they all taught us, and they still kind of are. I'll get to about that, using a one round liner. And here in sunny LA, I've had the blessing of actually being able to work on so many different skin types, so many different ethnicities, so many different people, which has been amazing. And it's really been able to give me a better sense of working on all different skin. So whoever walks in my door, you best believe I will be able to help them. All ages, all ethnicities. My youngest was 18 years old, and my oldest client was 96 years old, and everything in between I have done. So Los Angeles has definitely given me that blessing, that benefit. So with that, you guys, here I am, young little pup learning permanent makeup in my own little studio without any help, not a mentor. And I'm using my one round liner, scratching through the skin. And my mature clients were getting beaten up. They were on blood thinners, their skin is thinner, and the ink was just not going in very well. And I wasn't equipped with all the things, knowing what I know now, on what to do. So you can't stop, right? You can't go, well, here's half your brows, or I'll finish some other time, you know what I mean? But you can't keep going either, because you're just causing trauma. So what do? Well, you learn bigger needle configurations. And so for me, I was thinking there has to be a better way. And then I started thinking about regular body artists. They use bigger mags, shaders. So why don't we? And I started to buy some shaders, round shaders, and some mags. I practiced on latex and silicone. And then I would have it on my cart during, my client sessions. And I would be curious. I practiced on latex first, and then I would load it in my machine, and I would start to work on my clients. And if I didn't like it, I'd be like, okay, yeah, no, I'm not ready, or I didn't feel comfortable. But I'll tell you what, majority of the time I was like, what magic is this? Why are we not using these? I mean, I was flying through the skin, you guys. You think about a 5 curved mag, right? So a 5 curved mag is 5 needles. You know what I mean? And they're in this nice little curved way, so that when you are shading ink into the skin, and you can go wide or you can go this way, you can really get some good definition. It flies into the skin more. So your oily skin type ladies or men, your more mature clients, they're going to really appreciate the fact that you have more tools in your shed than just that one round liner, because they're going to have better retention. They're not going to have all that trauma. And a lot of times, I think sometimes we like to blame the client on their healing, their skin, and oh, it's just the client. But guess what? If you aren't doing your technique right, and you're not picking the right tool for their skin, then it is your fault. You know what I mean? You have provided them a service that's not, it's patchy, it's scratchy, you might cause, damage. So learning bigger needle configurations, you guys, are the jam. I think that it should be universally taught. I think that one round liners have a place for some things, and I think that it is a little old fashioned. So in my opinion, and I was an artist during the time where the Instagram brows were popular. They were cookie cutter Instagram. You had your ombre brow, is very dark. So everybody liked to see those pixels, and we're still like that. Pixels, pixels, let's see the pixels, which is fine and soft and dandy. And I think that yes, they look beautiful on some clients, but it's not going to be good for everybody. And in my experience as well, when I'm using a 5 curved mag on latex, yeah, and this is what I tell my students, it's going to look a little clunky because when you're shading with it, you're not going to get that soft pixelated like a one round liner. So I think a lot of artists get a little like, I don't like the way this looks on latex. But the thing is that it translates on skin so much differently. Like it does heal, and that's the other thing, you guys. It's about the healed results. So on your client, you will sometimes get that same look. It depends on your pressure and your depth. How do you use that tool? If you use that 5 curve mag, you can get beautiful pixels. So I am telling you guys, as soon as I started using mags, I did use round shaders though too, because when I was starting out and there was no help to be found, I did find Girls Inc. in Las Vegas, and Taryn Darling. If you guys don't know, she was and is the pioneer in my eyes in this industry. She helped me out tremendously because she was a body artist first, and then she became a permanent makeup artist. So she had those skills of working with bigger needle configurations. And I think that that is an amazing thing to have, because for a while we were like permanent makeup artists and we need to use one round liner and stick to your lane. I mean, there was a lot going on between like body artists and permanent makeup artists, and they were like, giving us a hard time. I think they still do, but we do the same thing. Like, come on, give us a break, So anyway, don't be afraid of that. Do your thing. Don't think that you have to use a one round liner and have, that work on everybody. Use a 5 curve mag. Start out with the 5 curve mag. There are 3 flats out there. There are 3 mags sometimes, but they're a little bit more flat, and that the edges can be a little bit abrasive on some clients. But 5 curve mags, you guys, are my jam. I do powder brows or ombre powder brows, whatever. My 2 go-to needles are a 3 round liner and a 5 curve mag. I only use a 1 round liner when I do nano. Even then, I was trying to branch out. I always experiment because I don't want to be here forever. The client doesn't want to be here forever. We want to get in and out of the skin as quickly as possible so that they have beautiful results. Trust me, I know my nano brows from start to finish with consultation and the whole 9 yards can take me sometimes 4 hours. So it's not like I'm in a rush either, but I have done my own study. So what I did is I got my 3 round liner because I just cannot fathom doing powder brows with a 1 round liner. Not unless I was going to do some soft fronts, but I still use a 3 because a 3 is just a little bit more than a 1 round liner. So I took my 3 round liner, and typically though I do use bug pins. So I do use like a 3 round liner 0.08, which is really tiny. There are 3 round liners 0.06 as well, which is really tiny. Like at the end of the day, it's almost a 1 round liner at that point. So I took my 3 round liner 0.08, and I was doing an entire powder brow. And I'll tell you, I was like, holy moly, this is taking a long time, because I also can get caught in those traps where I look at other people's work and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is gorgeous. And I'm like, I kind of want to get that softness going too. And I'll tell you, I start doing it and I'm like, okay, yeah, no, like give me that 5 curve mag. I just love the way it really flies into the skin. It heals beautifully. I have healed results I can show you guys. And I think sometimes we get a little like nervous that a 5 curve mag is going to be too much and it's going to be too saturated, but it's not. It is your technique. It is how you hold your machine. It is how much pressure, your hand speed, your sweet spot, to get that look. And you absolutely can get a very soft look with a 5 curved mag. So my clients, you guys, I still sometimes do spend a lot of time on them, but when it comes to the tattoo time, it is not as long as if I were to use a one round liner, especially if I'm doing a color correction. Holy moly, like color corrections, I'm a brow doctor. I have fixed hundreds of brows. And I mean, if I was doing layering and layering the color correction and then the target brown color, I mean, I'm looking at a good 2.5 hours of just doing that. And if they have a larger brow as well, it's just too much. So, in my opinion, 5 curve mags, you guys, are the way to go. They really fly into the skin. They really will help your healed results. Don't be afraid of them. Practice on latex first and then have it loaded on your cart and then try it out on skin. I can't even tell you guys how many times I've had a chair renter here because they rent chairs here, and they don't take my class, which is fine, but I absolutely love helping. And I have those chair renters who I can see that they're in distress, and I will always help. And it never fails to surprise me that they're working with a one round liner and they're like, do you mind helping me? And I'm like, sure, what's going on, and they're like, it's just not going into the skin, da da da. And I look at them and I say, you got trained with just a one round liner, right? And they go, yeah. And I'm like, okay, here's a 5 curve mag. And I'm looking at their client, and the client is sun damaged. The client is a little bit older. She's got like thicker, leathery skin. And here she is, the artist, trying to get, some ink into the skin that's like, lady, what are you doing? Like, this is not, you're just causing trauma at that point. So I think that hopefully things will be getting better in the industry. And definitely, not to plug it, but you will learn this in all of my trainings. Like all of my trainings that I do, I give you one round liners because I want, especially those that aren't, haven't never picked up a machine yet. You will learn a one round liner, but you're going to learn a one round liner, a 3 round liner, a 5 curve mag, a 7 curve mag. Curve mags are my jam right now. I did do shaders in the beginning of my career, but for me, curved mags are really, really nice. Shaders are good too if you want to get into those, but I start to train more on the curved mags. And believe it or not, a lot of my students, their favorite needle is 5 curved mag, and some of them a 7 curved mag. So, I mean, in if they never knew that, especially lips, think about the lips, you guys. Doing the lips, and there's just so much volume, and lips can be a beast. And I don't even want to know what it's like, to do a whole set of lips with the one round liner anymore. They might be, good for some areas, but even the border, I don't use a one round liner. The contour, you guys, 3 round liner all day for me. I use a 5 bug pin as well to do the line sometimes, and it comes out super crispy. So do not be afraid of these bigger needle configurations. Do yourself a favor. Absolutely start trying them out. Get a feel for them. And also definitely know that they do translate on skin a little bit different. So if you're, doing your practice work and you're like, wow, this looks a little clunky, it's not looking very pixelated, because a lot of times we're like, our trainers are like, you got to go for the pixels, look for the pixels, and their work is all pixels and it looks beautiful, right? But it's not for everybody. You know what I mean? Those pixels don't really heal that pixelated at the end of the day. It might look that way for a certain amount of time, but then, for an extended time, it's not really going to be like that. Do you know what I mean? And for me, and for what I tell my clients, is that it's all about the healed results. It's not necessarily about what it looks like right after, because they'll never look like that again. When they leave the studio, they're darker, they're bolder, it's all the things. It's a fresh procedure. What is it going to look like when it's healed? So it's going to look beautiful. If you use these bigger needle configurations, you can and will get some of the exact same results. So there you go, you guys. I could talk about this for a very, very long time, and I don't want to keep on rambling, but I just wanted to let you know my take on why it is important, especially right now, to learn more than just a one round liner. If you are going to expand into other areas like removal or inkless stretch mark removal or scar camouflage, you definitely can't just use a one round liner. There's no way. So you better do yourself a favor and start looking at them now. Go on Amazon, Mass Tour. I love Mass Tour. They have some great needles. Everybody in the industry always raves about them, and they're really decently priced. So get yourself a box of those and start playing with them. Get used to them. Feel confident in them. And I promise you, your work is going to show for it too. So I hope that helps somebody out there. That is my hope and dream and wish for doing these YouTube videos, you guys, because I never had this mentorship when I was going through what you're going through, or maybe you have some years under your belt and you're kind of unsure about things. So hopefully you're like and subscribe to this channel, because I'm going to be doing this a lot more. I'm going to be sharing all my tips and tricks from my past years of being in this industry. And I'm not here to sugarcoat things. I really want to tell you like how it is raw, because that's what we want. We want truth and honesty, and I will give that to you guys. All right, you guys, this is Denise from Radiant Ink, and until next time, you guys take care. Bye.